We've been on this wall for 9 days, 3,000 feet up, eating, drinking, even relieving ourselves on the face. Now the hardest pitch, pitch 15, stands before me. Tiny fingertip holds, just a few millimeters wide, my hands trembling. One slip means falling back to the start, doing it all over again. Each attempt strips skin from my fingers and drains more of my strength. 3 days pass, failure after failure. Even Tommy doubts if I can make it. Staring at my shredded fingertips, I feel too weak. After waiting for me several days, Tommy decides to move on. Pitch 16 is brutally hard. He has to leap just to grab a razor-thin crack. He's tried for years and never succeeded. In the end, he chooses to go around. To bypass just 8 feet, he climbs 200 more. After a night of struggle, he finally makes it to pitch 16. Each step forward leaves me further behind. I rest for 2 days, then return to pitch 15. That night, I try 4 times and fail 4 times. Doubt consumes me. I finally decide to help Tommy chase his dream alone. At last, Tommy reaches the dream ledge. It's the only place on the wall where you can lie down, 2/3 of the way up. It's not the summit, but enough to bring tears to your eyes. But he wants me to share that miracle with him, so he stops and waits, refusing to finish without me. Even if it costs him the summit, he'll stay by my side. His faith reignites my own. I return to the place where I've fallen countless times, clinging desperately to every crack in the stone. When I finally pass that hellish section, there's no time to celebrate. I push on to catch him. I even pull off moves Tommy himself never completed, step by step, closing in. That night, I finally reach the dream ledge too. From then on, we climb side by side. And on the 19th day, we reach the summit. For this moment, we gave 6 whole years.
Even though I only have 9 fingers, I decided to free climb the Dawn Wall. It's the hardest road on El Capitan, a 3,000-foot vertical rock face with edges sharp as blades. Before us, no one had ever completed it. Kevin and I spent 6 years searching for a route. Every spring and fall, we'd live on the wall for months, trying, failing, and trying again just to find that one impossible path to the top. We practiced every crack that could hold a hand or foot, every corner that could balance the body. Sometimes, to cross just one section of rock, we had to try thousands of times. Finally, we decided to attempt the real climb. That meant, from the moment we left the ground, we would live on the wall until we reached the summit. The Dawn Wall has 32 pitches. Each time we finished one, we'd fix an anchor, wait for the other to climb up, and then move forward together. We could only use our hands and feet to grip the natural cracks and edges. The rope was for protection, not for pulling ourselves up. If we fell, we had to return to the last anchor and start again. The first few pitches were manageable, but the higher we climbed, the steeper the wall became, and the smaller the holds. Every move had to be perfect, or we'd fall. On pitch 7, I climbed until nightfall before I made it. At night, we pitched our portaledge on the wall, cooked a simple meal, and tried to rest. But I knew the next day would only be harder. Day after day, no one could predict how long the climb would take. On day 3, we reached pitch 10. On day 4, a storm hit. The tent shook in the wind. The temperature dropped below freezing. Ice formed at the top of the wall, and when the sun rose, chunks of melting ice rained down like bullets, smashing into camp. Surviving it was pure luck. I know what you're wondering. How do you deal with nature's call on a cliff? Let's just say going to the bathroom midair is an unforgettable experience. On day 8, we reached halfway, but the real challenge was still ahead. At pitch 15, we faced a blank wall stretching 300 feet sideways, top to bottom, almost no holds at all. Over 6 years, we'd spent more than 100 days trying to cross it. Thousands of attempts, not a single success. On this 3,000-foot wall, the space for fingertips was just a few millimeters. Every move had to be flawless. I moved with extreme care, every grip like pressing my hand against a knife edge. I forced my body to cling tight to the wall. With one finger missing, I had to hold on even harder. In that moment, I poured 6 years of persistence into one perfect move. I made it across the hardest section of the wall. The crowd below erupted, and for the first time, I felt we truly had a chance to complete the impossible climb.
I'm the toughest physics teacher in all of America. By day, I timidly teach in the classroom. Some students skip class right in front of me, and I don't dare say a word. When punks start throwing punches in class, I just shrug.
Remind me not to mess with you.
But at night, I show up in underground fight clubs. These places are full of ruthless fighters, yet I, a physics teacher, dominate. In every match, I beat my opponent senseless and take all the prize money. After the fight, I clean my wounds, change into a suit, and disguise myself as a friendly teacher. I thought no one would see through it, but one day a student asked a question that stunned everyone.
Hey, my brother was at the titty bar last night, and he said you was choking brothers out. I mean, what's up? Is it true?
Yeah, Mr. C. I mean, like, is it true? Did you really like work on some fools or something?
Yeah.
I was about to make an excuse when the principal showed up. He couldn't understand.
I need the money, Joe.
My daughter was born with a severe heart condition, but a high school teacher's salary couldn't cover her medical bills. My wife and I worked tirelessly, but it barely made a dent. Worse, the bank and courts were already after our house. I had no choice. Winning one underground fight could pay a month's salary. I used to be a professional boxer in my youth. I didn't love fighting, and my wife didn't want to see me risking my life, so I retired. The principal sympathized, but the order was clear. I was suspended without pay for a semester. The pressure at home grew heavier. The bank wouldn't wait, and my daughter's condition couldn't either. So I decided to return to the ring. I promised my wife I would only join amateur fights. She didn't want me to, but had no choice but to reluctantly agree. The next morning, I went to see an old friend who ran a boxing gym and worked as a part-time coach. I told him my situation. He thought I came to borrow money.
You would train me.
Train you for what?
I want to get back in the cage.
Are you serious?
At first, he didn't believe me. You retired at your peak. Now you're over 40. How do you expect to compete with those beasts? But my eyes were determined, and he had no choice but to agree. With my friend's support, I began training and fighting. My opponent went straight for a rear naked choke. It's the kind of move you can't escape once it's locked in. The commentator said the fight was about to be over. 10 seconds passed, and my face was already turning purple. My head was buzzing, and my coach yelled for me not to tap. The crowd thought I was finished, but I gritted my teeth and held on for 20 seconds. My opponent slammed the mat in frustration. During the break, my coach gave me a strategy. He told me to attack his lower body, push him into frustration, and wait for an opening to lock him down. Round 2 started. I kept getting beaten badly, but I found chances to go after his legs. He missed a flying knee, and finally, I saw frustration on his face.
Shoot! Shoot on him!
I quickly locked in a scissor takedown and threw him to the ground. This was my moment. What I had grabbed wasn't just an opponent, it was all the pain of life and my broken family.
You got it!
And this isn't happening. This isn't happening.
You got
This can't happen.
It just did, Brian.
He tapped.
Yes!
Brendan Conlon tapped. Midnight.
The arena erupted, and at home, my wife finally got the news she was waiting for. My next opponent was the world's fighting champion, Koba. 67 fights undefeated. Everyone said I had no chance. The bell rang. Round 1. Koba's punches poured down like a thunderstorm, and I couldn't fight back. In less than 20 seconds, I was hammered to the floor with a brutal combo. After a dozen heavy blows, I saw a gap to counter, but he lifted me and slammed me hard to the ground. For a moment, I thought I was going to die. The bell ending the round saved me. Round 2. I was thrown twice more, hard. Koba kept using the same crushing tactics, pinning me in despair. The bell rang again, and my body felt like it was falling apart. The commentator said my courage might actually kill me. During the break, my coach reminded me not to forget why I was here.
You don't knock him out. You lose the fight. Do you understand me? You don't knock him out. You don't have a home.
Never underestimate a man fighting for his family. Life's struggles couldn't break me. How could one man, even the best in the world? After 3 brutal rounds, I could feel Koba's stamina draining. I knew it was time to fight back.
He's taking Koba down, but the Russian is back up.
But Koba proved why he was number 1. He locked my throat in a deadly choke.
Write it out! Write it out!
I'm looking for a way out. Whoa, what's this?
He just tossed Koba. Can you believe this?
Tried to counter with an arm lock, but he gave me no chance. In the later rounds, I stopped defending and went toe-to-toe with him. I was no longer just a teacher. I was a man cornered by life itself. In the scramble on the ground, I caught his knee and twisted into a submission, even as my own waist screamed with pain.
Colin wrenching that knee for all it's worth. He's putting everything he has into it.
You drink
Seconds
it!
after 2 and Koba is screaming in pain. Koba tap! Koba has tapped! Brendan Conlon has tapped Koba! I can't believe it!
The crowd couldn't believe it. The world champion was beaten by a physics teacher I had